Welcome, seekers of the unknown. Today, we embark on a journey into one of the most mysterious and controversial practices throughout human history, Necromantia, the art of evoking the spirits of the dead. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that just a spooky tale from a horror movie? But let me tell you, it's far more complex than that. This practice has intrigued, frightened, and fascinated humanity for centuries. So, is there more to it than mere superstition? Can we truly communicate with the departed? And why have so many cultures throughout history sought to do so? Buckle up, because we're about to explore the dark and fascinating world of Necromantia. At its core, Necromantia is all about invoking or communicating with the spirits of the dead. Think of it as necromancy's cooler cousin, a form of divination or magic that involves summoning souls from the afterlife. This isn't just a whimsical notion. It's a practice that has roots stretching back thousands of years across various cultures, from the ancient Greeks to medieval Europe, and even into parts of Africa and Asia. Can you imagine that? People gathering in dimly lit rooms, surrounded by flickering candles, trying to tap into the wisdom of those who have crossed over. Through elaborate rituals and ceremonies, necromancers sought to contact the deceased, hoping to gain knowledge, guidance, or even power. Picture this: a practitioner calling upon a spirit not just for kicks, but to find lost treasures or to avert misfortune. Sometimes these spirits were even consulted for insights into the future or to invoke curses. Talk about multitasking. Now, let's take a little stroll through history. Necromancy has deep roots, and its presence can be traced back to many ancient cultures. In ancient Greece, for instance, Necromantia was considered an art of great power. The great poet Homer even mentions it in his epic works. Remember Odysseus? He ventured into the underworld to seek advice from the dead prophet Tiresias. Rituals were performed in sacred spaces known as necromanteons, or oracles of the dead, believed to be places where the veil between the living and the dead was thinnest. Can you feel the chill in the air? And the Romans? Oh, they were no strangers to necromantic practices either. They believed that the spirits of the dead could offer wisdom or warnings. It was common for individuals to visit seers or shamans who specialized in this dark art, seeking various insights, from glimpses into future events to consultations with their ancestors. It was like an ancient version of a hotline to the afterlife. So, how did these ancient practitioners actually go about their business? Well, it often involved elaborate rituals and specific tools. Imagine candles, incense, mirrors, and sometimes even bones or skulls. These items were used to create a mystical atmosphere, making the environment receptive to spiritual communication. A typical necromantic ritual might start with the practitioner creating a sacred circle, marked with symbols or runes for protection against malevolent spirits. Then, they would summon the spirits using chants, calling out the names of the deceased, or even offering sacrifices. Yes, you heard that right. Sacrifices, often food or drink, were part of the deal. Throughout history, we've encountered many notable figures associated with necromantic practices. One of the most famous is John Dee, the English alchemist and advisor to Queen Elizabeth I. Dee believed that communicating with angels and spirits was essential for gaining hidden knowledge. Although he's best known for his work with angelic communication, many historians believe his practices were closely tied to necromancy. Talk about a man with connections. But let's not forget the risks. With great power comes great danger. Necromantia is not a practice to be taken lightly. Historically, necromancers faced the risk of angering the spirits they summoned, or inviting malevolent entities into the world of the living. Many believed that the spirits of the dead could bring both wisdom and misfortune, a duality that made the art of evoking the dead perilous. There are chilling stories of necromancers who tried to raise the dead, only to face horrifying consequences. Yikes! Fast forward to today, and necromancy remains a popular theme in both occult practices and popular culture. Movies, TV shows, and video games often portray necromancers as dark and mysterious figures, wielding the power to control the dead or raise armies of zombies. But what does modern necromancy look like? In contemporary occult circles, it's often less about raising the dead and more about communicating with ancestors or spirits for guidance. Many modern practitioners focus on spiritual healing or seeking wisdom from those who have passed. It's less about power and more about connection. So here we are, at the crossroads of fascination and fear. Whether seen as a forbidden art or a path to wisdom, Necromantia remains a deeply compelling practice. It raises questions about life, death, and the unknown, questions we may never truly answer. But as long as humanity seeks to understand the mysteries of existence, the allure of communicating with the dead will undoubtedly continue to captivate our imaginations. Thank you for joining me on this eerie exploration of Necromantia. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to explore more dark and mystical topics. Until next time, stay curious, and remember, the spirits are always watching.